Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started and underway in just a minute. And good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for being here today on this Saturday. It's a snowy Saturday here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Today, I'm going to go through a step-by-step process with you guys through the consulting that I did over the past couple of weeks and a lot of the different questions that I've gotten in regards to audio production. What I want to do is walk you through exactly what it is that I do. This is going to be great for all of you guys, in particular for the ladies and gentlemen that use Adobe Audition. This is going to be extremely helpful. So even if you're using something like Audacity or Reaper or whatever, if you're becoming a practitioner of those different DAWs, whatever, which one you're using, Pro Tools, whatever, there are going to be similar things that you can do in regards to building this thing out. And what I want to go through with you is I'm literally going to walk through step by step what I do to complete an audio production, to get it ready to send out to a client or whatever, or even something I do for myself that I want to put online. I'm going to walk you through that step by step. If you could, in the comments below, I just want to make sure that everyone can see and hear me okay. If you could just give me a thumbs up or whatever in the comments below the video, down at the bottom of the page is where you can put your comments. I just want to make sure that I'm able to be seen and heard. Because if I'm not, then that's going to make a difference. I see comments in there. Good morning, Skywalker. Good morning, Steve. I see those comments in there. I just need a couple of comments. Just let me know you can see and hear me okay. And I want to get this thing going underway. Good morning, John. Tanya, good morning. Welcome in. And let me just do another refresh here. Somebody just let me know that you can see and hear me. And I know there's a time delay. Okay. All right. Thanks, Samuel, for letting me know. Martin, thank you for letting me know as well. Okay. Now let's get this thing underway. And while you're looking at below, I've got some links in there. If you guys, my secret sauce, that DBX286S, I got that there. E-mastered, I use all the time. And of course, if you want to get a subscription to Adobe Audition, you can do that below this video as well. I've got those links with images in there right now. All right, so let me go and share my screen with you guys. Do a little window capture here. And got to change the properties on this. Okay, there we go. I want to share my Adobe Audition screen, and I need to make that a little bit smaller. Let you guys see what I'm doing here. Anyway, I'll make this a little bit smaller so we can kind of make sure that you get a full screen thing going on here. All right, I think that'll work. With that, do another transition. Okay, so we got it in there. So all of you guys should be seeing my Adobe Audition screen right now. And what I'm going to do, depending on what happens with all of this, I'll probably be taking some screenshots, because I think when I try and do some things within Adobe Audition, it really doesn't show. And I'm not sure why that is. Let me just do another properties check here before. Let's see. We want a full screen. Okay, I'm just going to have to work with this. Is what we got to go. All right, so now you see we're over here in Adobe Audition. Now, I just opened it up. So I'm literally going to do this step by step. What I'll say, I'm going to take some screenshots as I go, because I don't think Adobe Audition literally shows everything, or should I say OBS, the broadcasting platform that I'm using to do this with, it's not showing. Like I just clicked on file and it's not showing that. So I'm going to take a little screen capture and I'm going to share these images after the broadcast is over. I'll put these images up. So while you're watching this video or whatever, maybe you can look at these images as well and kind of see my step-by-step process. And I'm doing this for a specific reason, because I don't want there to be any question about what it is that I'm doing. So I'm going to got to do a screen capture as I go. Basically, we're going to go File, New. And what you want to do, what I always do, is I open a multi-track session for Adobe Audition. I record in multi-track and everything. And so then we just have to do, I'll just name this one Test Class and select where I want to put this, which I guess is really no big deal where I put it, but I just don't want to put it somewhere crazy. So let me just go up here. I'm going to put it in Steps to VoiceOver Success. Boom. And let's take another screenshot. And okay, so now what you're seeing is Adobe Audition. It's opening up right now, and this is a multi-track session within Adobe Audition. Now, the reason that I record in multi-track, by the way, you guys can put in your questions or whatever. I can't see your questions right now because I'm showing this screen. But once I get done doing this, I can go back and look at the questions that you have. So as I'm going, feel free to put in your questions, and I will go back through and answer those questions when you see my mug back on the screen. All right, so in this, the reason that I record in multi-track, and I know a lot of people record in a single track, you know, where you just got the big wave pattern on the form as you're recording. I record in multi-track because I can bring in different things and aspects that I want to bring in, and I'm going to show you how to bring in like background music and things of that nature. We're going to go through the processing of this whole thing. This is going to be from beginning to end. You're going to see what it is that I do. One of the things that I want to check, and I'm just doing this for myself here, I just want to make sure that I have everything routed appropriately so that you can actually hear what it is that I'm doing. And nope, I don't have it routed appropriately to the mic that I'm using. So I'm going to change that right now. And actually, I need to show you this. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this, of what it is that I'm doing, because if you're not familiar with how to route everything, it's going to be kind of hard. So the first thing you want to do is hit Edit and then Preferences. And then you want to click on Audio Channel Mapping. And this is within Adobe Audition. So I'm going to do that. I took a screenshot of that. Now under the channel mapping, basically what you want to do is select your microphone. You can also go under hardware. I'm actually going to click on hardware, and let me take another screenshot of that. And the hardware, I'm switching from my Focusrite over to my mixer that I'm using right now. And also the default output. Do I want that going through the mixer? No, I think I'm going to leave that the way that it is. If I need to change it, then I will. You guys can tell me if you can hear it or not. All right, so now basically with that, here where you see the default stereo input, this is where you want to select your microphone. And I'm taking a screenshot of that because I know you guys can't see it. And what I'm selecting in mono is the microphone that I'm using. So now I've selected that, and you can see that changed here. So I've got my line in. And so this should say whatever microphone it is that you're using, you want to make sure that it's set up appropriately that way. If you're using something like Audacity, they usually have it up at the top left-hand corner where you can select your microphone and all of that. And so it kind of makes it's a little bit easier in Audacity to do that, I think, than it is in Adobe Audition. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I've got a little script here, and I'm actually just going to record it. And you guys remember when I was doing that live video session where you saw me doing, you know, the NSPC, you know, that type of deal there. I'm actually going to record a line from that, and we're going to fully produce this because this is a 30-second script. I'm just going to give it one read. Hopefully I do it well. and I don't have to do any editing. Now, what you want to do, since you're up here in this first track within Adobe Audition, you want to arm it by hitting this R button right here. It just says R. You can see now you're seeing my voice basically pop up and down here within the DAW. So you can see I'm getting good levels right there. And so now that I've hit record and I'm armed, all I have to do is come down here to the red record button in Adobe Audition. And what I'll do is I'll hit record. Get that cough out of the way. All right, so here we go. And I'm going to do one read of this script. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Okay, so now you can see the wave pattern. Now I see here that I was a little bit hot, but I'm going to let that go. And right up here, you can see that it's just a little bit hot there. And let's take a listen. And what I want to do, I'm going to play this, and I need you guys actually to tell me if you can hear this or not. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed. Okay, actually, I'm sure you can't hear that. So let me see if I can, let me change my routing once again because it didn't seem like it was coming through. Let me just go back over here 1 second. And I want to go to the comments. You guys probably couldn't hear that. Just let me know that you couldn't hear that. And I'm not talking about through my microphone. I'm talking about really, really well. And that's why I was thinking you couldn't hear it before. And I'm going to play this again and tell me if you can hear this or not. Let me go back to Adobe Audition, and I'm going to hit play. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Okay, I think I know what it is. I just need to change my routing here because it is coming through my Focusrite. So let me just go back and I will change my output setting. It is going through there. For some reason, I'm not thinking you guys could hear that, but let me go back to the comments and see if you guys could actually hear what I was saying in the recording. Nope, not really. Okay, thanks. All right, so that just lets me know I need to change one of my settings here for my output. All right, I think that will be it right there. Tell me if, go back to Adobe Audition and make sure that you can hear, see if you can hear this. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Okay, you guys just need to let me know, there it is, if you could hear that the way that it should be heard. And I'm sure you know how that goes. Just let me know if you could hear that. And I'm thinking you should have probably been able to hear that. Just need someone to let me know, like right now. Yes. Okay. Thanks, John, for letting me know. Okay, we got it. Now, let me go back to Adobe Audition here. Now, what we need to do is select some music to go in the back with that. Now, what you're going to notice here, and I'm going to zoom in a bit on the screen. I moved myself when I shouldn't have moved myself here. And I'm moving some stuff around here, guys. Bear with me while I do this. And then I can transition that over. All right, so that should be a little bit closer up that you guys are seeing. It should be a little bit bigger for you there on the screen. Now, this is the wave pattern that I just created. And now what you can do, if you want to take a closer look at the wave pattern, all you have to do is, and where's my mouse? I can't see my mouse. I guess not showing my mouse now. You just need to double click on it. And when you double click, it brings in your wave pattern. So you can see, I mean, I've got a couple of breaths that are there, And since this is you know what, I'm not even going to take the breath out. The only thing I'm going to do is kind of reduce this a bit. Actually, it's right on. Usually when you start a commercial, you want about 2 seconds, no more than 2 seconds, and it's of music to play before it starts. And you can kind of see here, it's just before the 2-second mark. So I'm going to leave that alone. And in regards to, like, you can see, I don't have any noise in here. There's no noise except for my breath that's right there, thanks to the DBX 286S. But you can also see that I'm hot. I'm clipping right here. So we're going to try and take care of that in post, which you shouldn't. You should always take care of that right up front. So what I'm going to do is go back and click on the multi-track session here. This here is the wave pattern, which is this. And this top one is basically the session that we're in. It's an Adobe Audition session. One of the reasons that I record this way is so that I don't destroy my original wave pattern. That's one of the reasons that I record this way. I don't want to do any not editing. I don't want to do any processing or mastering on, let me just double click on it. I don't want to do any processing or mastering here. This is my original file. I want this to stay as my original file. So I don't do any processing or mastering or, you know, compression or anything like that here. I do that in the session part, which is here. And I can go ahead and actually load my rack. So you can kind of see that loading up. And boom. So there it's populated. And these are the different things that I'm going to use to process. And the ones that are lit, basically the green ones, are the ones that I'm going to let do the work for me. Now, I've got this all set up. My vocal track is set and everything. Let's take a listen to, we can take a listen to both. And you guys have always heard me say less is more. This is what I mean by less is more. I'm going to turn the processing off with this button here. So now it's not going to do anything to this track that's up here. And we'll just take a listen to it again. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Okay, and you'll notice that at the bottom here, you could have seen the red line clipping. The line, it should stay yellow or green, not red. When it's red, it means it's too loud. All right. So anyway, let's turn the processing on. And you can see what my processing does. So I just turned on the processing, and let me turn my record button off, and here we go. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Okay, now you can see with the processing, when you look down below in this area here, these experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. You see it didn't clip. That's because of the processing that I did on it. Basically, I put a limiter on it so that it wouldn't go above -6. And what I'll do, let me take a screenshot of each of the settings that I have. So of course I'm using my debreather. Love that plugin from Waves. And what I'll do is I will open up my settings for that. You can't see it, but I'm going to take a screenshot and I will provide those to you guys later. All right, so let's close that out. I didn't use the gate, which normally I do. So I'm wondering why I didn't have my gate on. Oh, I probably didn't need it because I don't have any noise because of my DBX 286S. So that's why I didn't have the gate on. I could have used the de-esser. Let's do that. I don't need the vocal enhancer. And let me just show you my settings for my gate. And this is the gate that I use is also from Waves. So I just took a screenshot of that. I'll take a screenshot of my de-esser that I have. And settings for a de-esser are going to be lower for women and higher for men. Is basically, or is the other way around. No, lower for women. No, higher for women, lower for men. That's what it is. All right, and then I'm going to take a screenshot of my EQ, how I EQ my voice. And you can use these as some beginner settings. And obviously you're going to have to set it up so that it works with your voice appropriately. But looking at how I have my EQ set up may make things a little bit better. And then the limiter is just so that it does not clip. And so I'll send you my limiter settings. Let me take a screenshot of those. All right, so we've got screenshots for all of that. Let's take a listen to this and see how this goes. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Okay, all right, so there we are with that. So you see what it sounds like with and without the processing involved. And I didn't do any processing on the actual waveform. The waveform is still the same, has not been changed. It's just in the export of the audio file that this is going to make a difference in the output of that. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I'm going to show you how I select my music. So let's go here, and I need to do a little change of my screen capture. And we're going to go over to that. Okay. All right. So let's see. What do I want to use? Let's just open up another browser. And I'm going to go to audioblocks.com. And basically, you take a listen to the different tracks that are there. And you try and, determine which one is going to sound the best for you. I need to change my headphones here. All right. So I can actually hear what you guys are hearing when I do this. So let's take a listen. Nope. Okay. So let's go up to music. That's kind of the tone of the commercial is not like upbeat. It's not like a real upbeat thing, but it's not somber and sad either. So within audioblocks.com, you can choose a mood. So let's see what kind of mood they have. Playful, silly. Let's try relaxing. This is, I think, relaxing kind of will fit that tone a bit. And so let's see. Nope, that's not. Nope. That may work. Let's download this MP3. I think that actually may be workable. Nope. And all I'm doing, once you put your mouse in AudioBlocks over a file, it'll start playing it. All right, that's too somber. Okay, I'm just going to go with the one that I got. That's what we are going to do. So I'm basically just going to open up a folder here. And let me go back to Adobe Audition. I went to the folder where it downloaded to, and let me change my screen settings back to Adobe Audition. So hold on a second for me here so that we can get back to Adobe Audition here. Okay. All right. So now we're back to Adobe Audition. And what I'm going to do, that audio file that I just got from AudioBlocks, I'm just going to drag it and I'm going to drop it in there. All right. So it's going to take a second and then it's going to go ahead and load it up. Okay. And there we are. And you see that it's right there in the audio track. So let's take a listen to what this sounds like. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Okay, obviously, the music is too loud. It's too loud for what it is that we're trying to do. Also, the audio track is too long. That's readily obvious. The audio track is just too long. Now, the good thing about one of the key things in Adobe Audition that you can do is you can actually make this track the length that you want it without cutting it up. So all you have to do is highlight the track And then you'll go over here to this spot here and you'll click on properties. And then you'll notice within properties, let's just see here. Info, nope, it's not there. Mixing, I think it's on, is this, nope, it's not under mixing. Where is it? Effects track. Come on, where are you at? I was all set up for this, and now this is making me look stupid. Is it under the effects? Markers? I'm going to find this 1 second here. This is not showing up the way that it should be. Let me just check a few things here. Come on. Basically, what you can do is you can make a track any length that you want it, and it will do the mixing for you. And all right, one more thing here. There it is. There it is. Clip end. But that's not what I want it to show. Here, there it is. All right, I found it. Right here, enable remix. All right, so you want to click that. And so it's going to do some processing on this. And you can see it's counting down. We're about 6% done. It says it's going to take about 1 minute or so. But anyway, it's probably not going to take that long. What this enables you to do is to use any audio track as far as music goes, and it will remix that track for you right here in Adobe Audition to whatever length it is that you want it to be. When I found this little nugget, it just changed everything, because normally you get a track and you put it in there and you just kind of, you just kind of chop it off and you kind of fade it out. Well, with this, with this ability within Adobe Audition, you don't need to do that. So I need a track that's going to be about 20 seconds long. I want it to be, I want it to be about 20 seconds. So all you have to do is go here and you can literally just type this in 0, and let's just make this about 21, and I'll leave the rest on. All right. And hit enter there, and it's remixing it. You see that? All right, so I want it to be a little bit shorter than that. So let's try 20. Okay, let's take it down to, let's try drastic. Let's take it down to 18. All right, I think that works a little bit better, but I'm kind of anal, so I want to take it down a little bit more. Let's take it down to 7. Let's take it down to 16. 16 seconds. Okay, we'll leave it at 17. And I'm going to just change these little numbers here to be 200 on the end. All right, so now, here's what it sounds like. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Ooh, did you hear how good that sounded? Okay, now obviously the audio on the music is still too loud. So this is what we do with that. We want to go to the effects rack for the music. And what we want to do with that is set up a dynamics processor. And I've got to take a screenshot of this. And you guys are really going to want to pay attention to these particular screenshots. All right, so I want to select a dynamics processor. What the dynamics processor is going to do, and I'm going to take another screenshot of this, and I wish you could actually see this live, but I'm taking screenshots of it. The dynamics processor is so that when you're speaking, the music goes softer. When you're not speaking, the music gets louder. It's as simple as that. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a negative 25 dB on the music when I'm talking. And I'm going to make this into an S-spline curve. And I think that should be okay. And let me take another screenshot of this so that you guys can see this later, kind of how I did this. And also, you're going to want to go into the settings of this Dynamics processor, and you got to set the attack time and the release time. I usually set my attack time right around 100 and my release time around 500. And I'm going to take screenshots of this as well. You don't want abrupt changes in your Dynamics processing. I just took another screenshot of that. So that's all set up. But then also what you want to do, you've got to be able to tell what it is that you want to, how you want to use this track on this track. And basically you do that by setting up sends. This little down arrow and arrow pointing to the right, these are your sends. So what I'm going to do right here where it says S1, none, what I'm going to do is add a side chain to this. And I'm going to take a screenshot. Let's see. Yep, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. And because you have the effects set up on the music, when you do this and you hit that little S1 none and tell it you want a side chain, it's going to tell you to create one. And then you can select the Dynamics processing on track 2. So let me take a screenshot of this so you guys can get this. So now you can see right there, I've added the side chain, the Dynamics processing, and it's from track 2. Now, this may amaze you a bit, but let's take a listen to what this sounds like. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Okay, you can see how the music basically ducked down under. Now, I'm going to do a little change here. On the Dynamics processing, I'm going to make the music a little bit lower. I'm going to put it down about 35. Now, believe me, it was at 25 and I just moved it to 35, negative 35 dB. Basically, I didn't record this mic on my actual voiceover mic. I'm sitting here at my desk recording this, so the audio, the quality does not sound as good as it would from my Neumann TLM 103, basically in my booth here. So let's take another listen. I just dropped the decibel level of the music so that when I'm talking, the music goes down. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Okay, so that went off smooth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my top one. I just hit M for mute. I just want to hear the music. Okay, so with that, you can see how the sidechain works. Basically, when I would be talking, the music is lower. When I'm not talking, it gets louder, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at that. And I wanted to make sure that the music was not clipping as well. I think what I'm going to do, nope, I didn't put anything on there. So now all we have to do with this raw file is just export it. So I'm basically going up to File and Export, and you want a multi-track mix down and you want the entire session. All right, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this as far as what I'm doing right now, and you're going to see it ask some questions and it's going to save it. Let's see where I want to save it. Back in the same place. There it is, test class. All right, and let me take a screenshot of this so that you can see me saving it. And you can see the settings that I have. I usually set it out at 192 kbps in a MP3 file. And we'll go ahead and save that. And you can see that it's saving. Now it's all saved. And right over here, you can see the mixdown track. And I think, is that the file? Yep. Oh, you know, there you go. Prime example of mistakes. Let's go back here. Remember when I muted this track? So it didn't export the track. So let's take the mute off because I was wondering why that waveform looks so funny. All right, so now let's do the file, the same thing we just did. File, export. You got to make sure to take that mute off. Entire session, and boom. Okay. I have to name this number 2 because the other one was named basically just the raw 1. So now that's saving, and here we go. Ah, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, so let's take a listen. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. Boom. From beginning to end, you have just seen how I produce a full audio thing. Basically from beginning to end. Don't be too harsh on me about the delivery, and don't be too harsh on me about the audio quality of this microphone in an open space, because that's kind of the tinniness or whatever that you would hear in it. It was more important for me to be able to show you how I go through that entire process, which I think is extremely important. All right, switch headphones again here. Ah, these are much more comfortable. They're not as like tight on my head. Anyway, all right, so let me go back over so I can see what you guys have been chatting about over here and take your questions as well. By the way, and let me just open her up here. 1 second, Skype. In case any of you guys want to buzz me up on Skype, then you can do that. So I'm opening up Skype right now as well. At least I thought I did. Boom, boom. All right, so now it should open up. Do a little refresh here on the screen and see what you guys are talking about over here. I'm hoping that this, boom, there's Skype opening up for me. In case any of you guys want to call in, let me just see. Is someone calling me on Skype? Yes. Your breath just scared the hell out of me. Oh, okay. Anyway. All right. Some people are commenting on Skype for some reason. I don't know why, because I don't monitor Skype for comments. I just monitor here. All right. Let me do one more refresh. And again, I hope this made sense. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. I don't want to start at the top. I want to go back, and those that commented first, will answer your questions first. John was saying it's one of the best features of Adobe Audition. You're probably talking about the remixing. Sam says, beautiful. Russ says, can you keep the music from coming up during each little breath and pause? Yes, that is within the dynamics processing as far as how you do that, how fast it comes up and how fast it goes away. It's in the settings for that. And that is basically how you control that, doing that. And it's something you have to play around with. I didn't play around with it at all. I was trying to show you more of the process of it, of how I do, but sometimes you have to finagle a little bit or whatever with that. But yes, you can. John is saying, great explanation of the process, Earl. Thanks so much, John. Appreciate that. Martin says, why does this little yellow triangle stay on in the voice track? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Martin. If you call me up, Martin, you can probably explain more what you mean by that question, because I'm not sure. If you buzz me on Skype, I'll take that question. But why does the little yellow triangle stay on in the voice track? And let me just go back to and take a look at Adobe Audition, because I'm not sure. Oh, the little yellow triangle with the exclamation mark in it. It stays on because it's a track that you're recording on, is probably why that's there. Now, if that's, let's see, warning, here it is. It says, I just put my little mouse over it. It says, warning, this clip may be shifted out of sync due to a source, wait a minute, it just disappeared on me. due to a source media change. Click to dismiss. All right. And I just dismissed the warning. So now it's gone from there. So yeah, but that's what it was. And it's probably because the recording starts 2 seconds later or whatever, but in essence, it doesn't matter. Just to be completely transparent about that, it just didn't even matter that triangle was there. All right. I'm going to do another little refresh here. Let's see. Samuel is saying, this was great, Earl, but I think I need to switch from Audacity to Adobe Audition. Laugh out loud. Hey, there's some functionality, and I believe one of the best functionalities that I showed today was the fact that you can remix that music and make it exactly the length that you want it so that it fades out. I mean, you see how nice it just faded out, so, and you don't have to play around with it. I mean, I remember back in the day, I would try and take out on the beat, the exact beaters. It was a debacle. And when I saw this feature, I was like, oh my freaking goodness. I could not believe it was that simple. They just do it for you right there in Adobe Audition. Steve is saying, hey, Earl, I'm sure there is an automatic ducking selection in Adobe Audition. Yes, there is. Automatic ducking is available in Adobe Audition. You still have to do the settings yourself to make sure that music, it doesn't sound too harsh is basically the thing, the in and out, the in and out, the in and out, so that it doesn't sound too harsh. And that's in the attack and release settings. And you can play around with those to get it the way that you want it to sound. That's all in the attack and release settings. And I'm going to upload these screenshots that I've taken today after we get off air so you can see what I was talking about with that. So that's in Samuel saying, so that's called sidechain, right? Yep, that's doing your sidechain is basically what that's all about with that. And I'm going to do another little refresh here. All right. Tanya is saying, can you explain sidechain? Can you explain what sidechain does? That little arrow that points down and to the side. I would like to understand that function better. You probably will once you see my screenshots, but sidechain, all that means is there's another piece of audio that you want to connect in a specific way to another piece of audio. And you want that audio, that sidechain, to have a certain effect on that initial piece of audio. And the only thing in this sidechain that we did was called ducking, which means you bring the audio down under the voice. And that's what we did. We could have done it the other way. We could have ducked the voice down under the music, but obviously, well, that wouldn't have made sense. But you can do it either way. It can go either way. And when you say that little arrow that points down and to the side, basically that's the setup. That little arrow that you're talking about that points down and the one that points to the right, it is to set all of that up on that first track, telling that first track that you want to do something with that second track. That's all it is. And you'll see that in the images that I send over, because you couldn't see, for whatever reason, it doesn't show that in the live stream. And I don't know why, but it bothers the bejesus out of me that it can't just show that. And I don't know why it doesn't. Maybe I'll figure it out one day. All right. Samuel was saying it may be my inexperience, but the mic sounds good. No, I can tell the difference. I believe I can tell the difference that this mic doesn't sound as good as my Neumann TLM 103, only because there's no, I mean, I'm just in an open space right now. And so it's not ticking out any extraneous stuff. But anyway, it's different. It is different. Steve is saying you can also click on the volume level line to create anchor points to pull it up or down. Yes, you can, to adjust the music manually. Yes, you can do that as well. Let me show you what that looks like. I can show you that right now. And a lot of times that's actually what folks do. So let's go back into Adobe Audition here and let me do another, let me do the window capture. All right. So now we're back here in Adobe Audition, and the only thing that you have to do to take all of those effects off basically is to just turn it off. And you have to go to the sends, and basically I'm telling it I don't want any more. You're going to see it changes to none. So now it's back to none. All right, and take a listen. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine. Okay, so now you can see the music is back up. So what he's saying here is you can pick anywhere on the line. And let me just go back over here. I'm going to put this here. All right, so I put my little red line basically right where my voice starts. And so I want to pick probably like just before that. And you see that little blue dot that came up? And then right on the line, I can pull this, make another dot, and I can pull this volume down. You see that? That's literally going to make the volume go down. And then I can come back over here to about here where it ends. And right here, I can pick that point, just click on that line, this horizontal line here, and make another dot. And I can pull the music back up to 0 dB, back up to level. So now let's take a listen to what that sounds like. A year ago, I couldn't even think about playing softball. Thanks to a new and innovative back surgery performed by one of NSPC's experienced spine surgeons, I'm making the plays at shortstop again. No more back pain and batting 500. And there you go. So that's an easy way to do it. Very simple, minor thing to do. Just change the levels right there on the track itself. All right, so I can turn that off and come back. All right, and that may be a little easier for everyone to be able to do that. I like using the feature of the ducking and just getting my settings right, just for the fact that I think it's more professional doing it that way. But when you got a down and dirty thing and you just want to get it done, the way that I just showed you is probably the way to go with that. All right, let me do a little refresh here on my screen. Let's see. Wow, let me go back here. You guys have been putting in comments here I haven't seen. All right. Barbara's asking, how do you decide what to put on your track? And are plugins an actual Adobe Audition platform or your additional equipment? Complete newbie question. Oh, it's not a newbie question. That's fine. I need to change my headsets again. It's weird. I won't explain why I'm doing this, but anyway. All right. The plugins, there are plugins within Adobe Audition that will do some of the same things. I purchase Waves plugins because I like those plugins. The Deep Breath plugin that I use is only from Waves. It's not included within Adobe Audition. So I've purchased, and all of the plugins you saw, except for the dynamics processing, are Waves plugins. All of my plugins are Waves. Okay. Russ is asking, I have an Adobe Audition CS6. I'll have to experiment. Yeah, you can do that. Let's see. John is saying, do you think it's a good idea to carve some frequency out of the mic, of the music and EQ to make it sit better with the voice? I mean, you can, but I'll be honest with you. I'm not a music guy. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I just grab a music track and boom. Yeah, there you go. But let's see. Mia's asking, so using music isn't necessary for a client unless they want it. Right. It's not. This is just if you're doing a full-on production, or if you're trying to do something with your, create a track for, or create a portion of your demo or something like that, where you have to add your own music. Martin is asking, is the mic you're on a dynamic or condenser? This is a dynamic. It's a Electro Voice RE320. It's a broadcast mic. And I have it actually in my store. at Steps to Voiceover Success, because I really love this mic. This was the mic that I used for years before I got my Norman TLM 103. This mic has done me well. If it's in an appropriate environment to record, this does me well to do voiceover. And it's about, I think it's $300 for this particular microphone. Electro Voice RE320. Alrighty. And let me do one more. I can't believe you guys have had me on here. Oh no, it's not an hour yet. For some reason, I thought I came on at 10, but I came on at 11. I was looking, I'm like, I've been here for 2 hours. But anyway, all right. Okay. Thanks, Samuel. Appreciate that. Russ is saying you can also go to Mixer, then to read, then write your music, ride the levels during playback. Okay. You guys know, some of you guys know more about that than I do. Steve is saying, yeah, just quick and easy and shows the process of what's happening. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm glad I was able to show you both of those. Maybe the hard way and the easy way to get it accomplished. Let's see. Samuel is saying the Adobe Audition you show below, is that a free service or paid? Adobe Audition is not free. They might have a free trial. I'm not sure. But if you click on the link, it'll tell you. But I don't think, to answer your question, it is paid. I pay $19.95 a month to have access to the Adobe Audition on the cloud and to get all the updates and everything that comes all the time. All right. So let's just see if there's any more questions that anyone has on this, because we're about to wrap up, because I've been on about an hour now. But I'm hoping that this was helpful, seeing this process. And because I've talked to so many of you over the past couple of weeks, I know that some of you just kind of need a step-by-step process on how to do some of this. The buttons, the actual buttons to push and things of that nature make a difference. I wish that I could have shown this to you in video format from beginning to end without having to share the screenshots. But unfortunately, I have no idea why it's not able to show what it is that I want to show when I do that. All right, I'm going to do one more refresh here just to see if you guys have any more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up for this Saturday. All right, guys, doesn't look like there's any more questions. Thanks so much for being here. You can come back to this page and the video will be up to view. You can go back over the video again, and I will go ahead and add in those screenshots. If you look over to where, to the right of the video where you see instructor and you see my picture there, that's where I believe the link is going to be for the images that I'm going to put up. And I will do those as quickly as I can as soon as I get off of this live stream training with you guys. I will do that and put that there for you. But I want to thank you guys once again for being here on this Saturday. Any questions or comments, you can post them below in the comments section. Even if you post them after, I'm still going to see these. I mean, as soon as you post a comment, I get an email. So I will be able to respond to the comments as they come in or whatever. Even if you're watching the replay of this and you weren't able to see it live, then you'll be able to do that. All right. Okay, guys, you have an awesome and an amazing, thank you, Samuel. I just saw your comment. You guys have an awesome and amazing Saturday, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.